How does caffeine work? Caffeine overload, how we consume enough to equal 8 Eiffel Towers every year. Every year, people drink more than 100,000 metric tons of caffeine. That is the same as 14 Eiffel Towers weight. The majority of this caffeine is eaten in coffee and tea, but it's also present in some sodas, chocolate, energy drinks, and even decaf beverages. Even if we don't get enough sleep, caffeine makes us feel awake, focused, joyful, and energized. However, it can also make us feel worried and spike our blood pressure. How caffeine keeps us awake and its other effects. The most extensively used drug in the world is it. What keeps us awake, then? Plants developed caffeine, which has several uses. It is harmful to insects in high doses and can be found in the leaves and seeds of some species. However, when they take it in smaller amounts, as is the case with nectar, it actually aids in their ability to recall and revisit flowers. Caffeine stimulates the central nervous system when consumed by humans. It prevents the body from producing adenosine, one of the main sleep-inducing chemicals, keeping us awake. How does caffeine work? You may be surprised. Your body requires a steady source of energy, which it obtains by dissolving the highly energetic molecule ATP. The chemical building block of ATP, adenosine, is released throughout the process. Your brain's neurons have receptors made specifically for this chemical. Adenosine initiates a series of metabolic processes when it binds to these receptors, which causes neurons to fire more slowly and delays the release of critical brain signaling chemicals. Simply put, you start to feel tired. Adenosine receptor antagonists include caffeine. That means that by blocking adenosine receptors, it prevents the slowing down of your neurons. How caffeine can inhibit the inhibitor to stimulate you? Adenosine and caffeine share a chemical structure that is similar enough for caffeine to bind to adenosine receptors but not near enough to cause activation. Adenosine suppresses your neurons. To put it simply, caffeine stimulates you by inhibiting the inhibitor. Additionally, caffeine might increase good sensations. Some neurons have connections between the adenosine receptors and dopamine receptors. Dopamine's function in the brain includes helping us feel good. Adenosine can interfere with dopamine's ability to fit into one of these paired receptors, preventing it from doing its mood-lifting action. However, caffeine has a different effect when adenosine is absent, allowing dopamine to replace it. How caffeine can actually be good for you, exploring the positive effects of caffeine. The actions of caffeine on adenosine and dopamine receptors may also have long-term advantages, decreasing the risk of conditions including Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and some types of cancer. Additionally, caffeine can increase the body's capacity to burn fat. In fact, some sporting organizations have set limits on caffeine consumption because they believe it offers sportsmen an unfair advantage. Olympic competitors had to maintain blood caffeine levels below a specified level from 1972 to 2004 in order to compete. How does caffeine work? The pros and cons of everyone's favorite pick-me-up. But not all of caffeine's effects are advantageous. Although it could improve your mood and make you more alert, it can also increase your blood pressure and heart rate, lead to excessive urine or diarrhea, make you more prone to insomnia, and exacerbate anxiety. Additionally, the foods and beverages that contain caffeine have their own effects on your body that must be considered. Caffeine use on a frequent basis can cause brain adaptation. Your body will produce extra adenosine receptors if your existing ones are constantly blocked. In this manner, adenosine can continue to signal the brain to shut down even when there is caffeine present. Because of this, you can discover that to feel as alert, you need to drink increasingly more coffee. How does caffeine work? New studies suggest that it may inhibit adenosine receptors. Adenosine receptors are becoming more and more numerous to inhibit. It's also the reason why quitting coffee abruptly could result in unpleasant withdrawal symptoms. Adenosine can function excessively when there are many receptors and no competition, leading to symptoms including headaches, fatigue, and low moods. But after a few days, the extra adenosine receptors will go away, your body will adjust, And you'll continue to feel alert even without taking the most common stimulant in the world.